Hi everyone and welcome to today's Speakers for Schools Industry Spotlight Talk. We're delighted that you're here to join us today. I am Sarah, your host, and you'll be hearing from some of our industry insiders today. An industry insider is someone who's currently working in the industry, living out the experiences that come with building a career. We have an hour for this session and it will include a presentation with our speaker before moving into a time of Q&A. And also time for some activities. Questions for our speakers can be submitted via our Q&A box. If you scroll down a little bit on your screen, you can find that box there. It will be open from now, so please do put your questions in. We'd love to hear from you. You can also interact with today's talk via the word cloud or the poll that we have going on that same page. Give your answers to us today. We'd love to hear from you there as well. If you're experiencing any issues, please let us know via the same box. We'll do our best to help you out and support you there. Today we're excited to welcome Care UK, one of the largest providers of residential care for older people. Today we're going to explore a multitude of roles and career paths available within Care UK, from entry level to senior management role. But firstly, I'm going to hand over to Maddie for a short introduction. So welcome in, Maddie. Hey.
Hi Sarah, thank you.
How's your day been so far?
It's been very well, thank you, apart from the miserable weather outside.
I know, it has been rubbish. But yes, as I hand over to you, please let us know more about you and also give us a fun fact about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So, hi everybody, my name is Maddie. I am a team leader within a care home in Care UK. I joined Care UK when I was 16 years old, so I was fresh out of school when I picked up a job there. I am still there now, I'm 18 and I now work full-time as a team leader. A fun fact about me is probably that I play a brass instrument in a band, and I play one of the big instruments, a big E-flat bass that I play. Not a lot of people know that about me. But anyway, so I'm doing an introduction with you guys, just a bit of an icebreaker, get you warmed up, ready for the talk today. So I want you all to grab a pen and paper, or if you don't have any, then just have a good think about the question I'm going to ask. Teachers, get the chat box ready to maybe post some of the answers in there. So the first thing I'm going to ask is 5 things you'd look for in a friend, and I'll give you 2 minutes to jot down some answers, have a think about it, pop some in the chat box for me to have a read through. I'd be thinking about things like I'd want my friend to be kind, I'd want them to support my goals, I'd want them to care about others. Let me know some of the things that you guys are thinking.
I would say for me, I'm going to jump in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's 5 things, isn't it?
Yes, 5.
I would like my friend to be kind, for sure. Funny.
Yeah.
Can I say love food? I love food, so I kind of want a pal in that area so we can love food together. That's free. I would like them to be considerate and also ambitious. I think it's nice if you have ambitious friends because you can all kind of like help each other, you know?
Yeah, they're really good ones.
Yeah, I'd say.
So has everybody finished with that task? If so, I'll move on to the next question that I would like to ask you all, and that is 5 qualities you have as a person. What you think are your 5 best qualities. And if you get stuck, you can always ask your friends or teachers or whoever's there with you today what they think your best qualities are. Again, we'll go through 5. Sarah, what do you think yours would be?
Oh, my 5 qualities. I would say it's quite hard actually when you think about it for yourself. 5 qualities. I would say that I think I'm very observant, so I can kind of tell if someone needs a little bit of maybe more support or they need like a friendly conversation or just like a boost of morale. 4 more, it's hard. I would say that I'm also, I want to say organized. I feel like that's also half a lie, but I think I am organized. I like to say that I'm quite kind of prepared for situations. Um, I would say that I am optimistic. I would say I'm funny as well. And then maybe I would say that I am. Oh, it's hard.
It is a difficult one to think
Yeah,
about.
it's hard to think about like yourself from
Yeah,
like that outer perspective. Um, I would say that I am caring.
yeah, I
How
think
about you? What are your
that's good.
five?
So for me, I've always been told I'm quite a nurturing person. So I
Nice.
think that's
It's
one
a
of
good
my
quality.
key qualities. Um, I'd say I'm very passionate about the things that I do,
Mm,
and like hobbies I have with my work.
yeah.
Um, so I think that's number two. Um, I think I'm quite um, a bubbly, like, and welcoming person. So I feel like people, I like to welcome people into, so I'm easily approachable. That's the right
Yeah,
word.
that's
Sorry.
good.
That's probably the best way to put it. How many is that? Three or four? I can't remember. It's really hard thinking
It's
about.
hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
At least we're giving all our
it,
watchers some time to kind of think of theirs as
yeah,
well.
lots of
But yeah, I think
ideas.
you've got two more.
Um, I would say I'm hardworking.
Mm.
I like to just delve right into the things that I do, and I think I'm quite chatty, which for me, I think it's actually quite a good quality that I have because I'll chat away to anybody and have a nice conversation.
Yeah, no, that's nice. I think it's nice to be able to like strike conversation with different people because
Yeah,
everyone's different, right? And that's a good quality to have if you can talk your way into any conversation. I think, yeah,
yeah.
I would love to be like that.
Well, I hope you've all managed to get some things written down and it's opened up conversations with whoever you're watching with. Um, that's going to be all from me this morning, and I would like to introduce Tracy, who is an award winning home manager within Care UK, and she's going to tell you some great things.
Hey, Tracy, welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
Tracy.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon. So,
Yeah.
yes, as you get started, please do introduce yourself and also give us some fun facts as well.
Okay. So my name is Tracy Norbury. I am a general registered nurse and a care home manager based in Maxfield, Cheshire. And I recently celebrated my 20-year work anniversary with Care UK. I started working here at the age of 16 as a Saturday job while studying at high school just before I was about to start my A levels. So, something about me, and most people know this because he is the absolute love of my life, is that I have a wonderful, boisterous mini schnauzer called Buddy, and he comes to work with me every day. And when I go on annual leave, it's him that all our relatives, residents, staff, and visitors miss. And they make me know that every time. They always say, "Why don't you leave Buddy here? And you just go away on your own," which doesn't make me feel very loved, but he's part of our home, so which is great for our residents. So I'm here today to talk to you a bit about Care UK and just give you a little bit of an insight about the company. So first of all, I'll tell you about a little bit about my career path, because probably like a lot of you, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I left school, and I was going through that and ahhing stage, and really I kind of fell into care. Obviously glad that I did now. Um, but when I started at 16, I started as a domestic on the weekends, and I did a little bit of work in the kitchen and laundry. And I went off to university, and whilst doing that, it suited me to do night shifts. So I became a care assistant. So I carried on doing my degree, worked as a carer and got promoted to senior carer. And after I finished my degree, I decided to have a year out. And during that time, I switched on to days and I really got to know the residents really well. And I got given more responsibility in the home, which was absolutely fabulous. And I decided at that point that I wanted to become a nurse. So I went back to university and finished my nurse training whilst working. When I came back from qualifying as a nurse, I literally was working for a few months before I became deputy manager, and a couple of years later became home manager. So I've done all the roles in the care home except for maintenance and admin, although I would give it a try if I was left to my own devices. So I really know what a home looks like and I know what Care UK looks like. During the time that I've been with Care UK, I've won several national awards. And last year, the greatest honour of my life is that I became a Queen's Nurse, which basically means that I have a title after my name now for commitment to community nursing and developing this. And, you know, it was a real career highlight for me, something that I never thought that I would do. And I was pushed towards applying for that by people that I work with, which I think is really good. It just shows you what a nurturing and caring team that we have here at Care UK. So as a company, we are really, really keen on developing within. And this isn't just about people going into roles that are in management, it can be anything. I love developing my team that I have around me. So I'll have younger people that are coming in, not quite sure what they want to do, what role they want to do. And we really encourage people to give everything a try. So we'll have people in care assistant roles, team leader roles, and there's always that room for development, which is really, really good. I've been with the company for 20 years, like I said, and my journey hasn't stopped. So I'm still learning. Every day is a school day. And I was put forward for our regional development course. So they're trying to get me geared up for the future so that I'll be in a position, if one came available, to apply for a regional director post, which is multi-site management. So it just shows you it doesn't matter where you go in a business or the company, there is opportunities there. So a little bit about Care UK. We're the fourth largest care home provider within the United Kingdom, and we've got homes across England, Scotland and Wales. We have over 150 homes at present and we're growing year on year. Every year we've got new builds coming on board, which is really, really exciting. We offer a range of care. So this can be residential care up to dementia, nursing, general nursing and complex healthcare. All our homes are varied in size, they're varied in how they are laid out. And that's a really good thing because we have different niches of different things we're able to offer. And it just shows you that if you move from home to home, there's also that development there as well. So we specialise in dementia care. And for those that may not be aware of this, it's when a person suffers with a cognitive decline, and there are varying types of dementia. Most people only know about the 5 main types, but there's actually over 200, and dementia is an umbrella term for all the different types. So people in our care can present as pleasantly confused, but equally at the end of the spectrum of dementia, they could be quite distressed with varying different degrees. And what we recognise as a company is that everybody within our care is an individual. Everyone's journey is very unique, and that we are in a blessed position to be able to offer care for these people that need it. So all of our employees within Care UK in our homes receive training to be able to care for our wonderful residents. We all go through inductions, we all have on-the-job training, and like I said before, our training only continues throughout our journey. We embody the 3 Care UK values, which are about being caring, passionate, and working as part of a team. And we take our best selves to work every day because we know that when we go to work with a smile on our face, not only are we going to have a great day, but the residents around us are going to feel our positive energy and pick up on that. So every day, in line with our values, we aim to fulfil the lives of our residents. And this can be done in so many different ways. And sometimes it's the small things, like just having a chat, having a big smile on your face, sitting and having a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with the resident. But then equally, on the other side of the spectrum, we have our Wishing Tree initiative, which we have in every one of our care homes. And this is for our residents, and it's for us to be able to bring their wishes to life. And sometimes it can be something really small. It can be just reading a book. Can be going for a walk around the park. But equally, we've had some pretty amazing stories where we've had residents learning to drive at 97. We've had residents going skydiving. We've had residents going for a tattoo, and some of the staff joined in with that as well. And in my home, we've had residents going back to their past careers. So recently, one of my residents went back to B&Q and was on the tills for the day. Now, that might not sound amazing to some of you, but actually for residents who some have forgotten the past, it can bring moments of joy to them because they get that flicker of a time that they probably really enjoyed. And it can be really rewarding to see that because we're enabling people to do what they love and to do something that they enjoy. So within Care UK, like I said, there are many different opportunities, and not all these are home-based. And I think people think that about care, that it is just care, but it's not. With over 150 homes, we have lots of support departments. So yes, we have our home-based roles, such as being a domestic, a carer, a team leader, but we also have roles within our support centre, which is based in Essex, which involve HR, finance, legal, marketing, IT, customer service, and property. So there's lots and lots of different roles within the company, and that's what makes it so fantastic because everybody works together to get the best results. So our various career paths within Care UK allow for personal development, and that's something that will continue with anyone throughout their career. But with various apprenticeships and learning opportunities, it gives you a great idea of what can happen, of the success that can be achieved. Within Care UK, some of our senior staff all started at the bottom and they share their stories with all our staff, and it's a great inspirational tool to be using. So I've told you about various homes and various things about what go on, but I'd love to give you a little tour around one of our homes. And it's a newer home. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's called Heathland House. And I think Sarah will just show you around that now. So as you can see, that is one of our beautiful homes. And with each one of our homes that is built, they get more and more stunning. And they really, really do. And I think it's such a lovely place for our residents to live with all the facilities that they have. And I know if it was me, I would be straight in the boathouse bar. It looks absolutely beautiful. And it was nice to be able to share that with you if you've never been in a care home and you've got an idea of what we have for our residents. So as you can see on the screen, this is our apprenticeships at Care UK. And again, this just emphasises that we really are a company that cares about our staff. We care about our employees and we want them to do the best. So on this apprenticeship cycle, you're able to see that we offer apprenticeships in various different roles and for different levels as well. So there's always something to work to in order to continue to gain qualifications. Okay, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. And there's so much information there to take away. We have some questions for you now, so we can get into those and yeah, learn some more about KUK and the care sector itself. So one of the questions here that we have in, what skills and behaviours are required to become a high quality carer?
Okay, so I don't want to sound cliche in saying that you learn a lot on the job, but you really do. I think you've got to want to be a carer. You've got to want to care. I mean, it's the most important part of the job is that you've got to be able to have empathy. You've got to be able to see our residents as an extension of yourselves. I always say to my staff within the home, bring your best self to work. Make sure you've got a smile on your face. And every time you approach or look after a resident, think about that being your loved one, whether it be your mum, your dad, your nan, your granddad. Think about how you'd want them cared for. And I think that will speak volumes in how you act towards people. And it's about maintaining that privacy, that dignity, and showing that actually you want to be there, because that's the things that residents pick up on. And it's such a worthwhile job and you get so much out of it. I mean, like I said before, I never wanted to go into care. It's not how I envisioned my life. And I'm so, so glad that I turned up on this doorstep 20 years ago, because I've never left and I couldn't think of anything more worthwhile doing with my life.
That is really, really nice. And I think, yeah, when you make it personal, and you're working with people, aren't you? So you need to be able to communicate and have that level of care there. So that is awesome. Thank you. Another question here: is there space for personal and professional development while working at KUK?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm a firm believer that you're only going to get out what you put in. But I think what's really important to understand is that we want people to do well. As a company, we want people to succeed, we want people to thrive. And I think as long as you're willing to put the work in and you want to do it, then you're going to succeed. There's so many different opportunities there, but it is about you wanting to do that, grabbing it with both hands and getting stuck in. You know, we do have staff that will come to us, some of our employees, who won't have functional skills. So they've not managed to get the maths and English at GCSE. And with our apprenticeship cycle, we've been able to help staff do that alongside getting an apprenticeship within care. I think it is just about using the opportunities available to you and having some kind of an idea about what you want. But as I said before, I'm still continuing my professional development now. And I think with professional development, it does entwine with personal development. You grow as a person. I know that over the last 20 years, I've certainly grown. And I think part of that is the people that you work with. You know, you're always taking on board other people's experiences. There's some brilliant mentors out there. And like I said, you know, we work as a team. So there's no such thing as a stupid question. You know, everyone wants to support you. Everyone's always willing to help and to have a chat. And that's what you want, because that's the only way that you are going to grow.
Definitely. I know you said earlier as well, every day is a school day, so there's always more to learn, and as you go, you can grow that way as well. Amazing. A question here about the apprenticeship. So, how long do they last?
So the majority of our apprenticeships can be up to 2 years. It really depends on your style of learning and how quickly that you can progress through it. It's not a race by any means, and it's not, we want to make sure that it's done properly. But we have people that will work alongside you. They'll arrange to come into the homes and meet you. There can be practical work involved where they'll come and watch, certain aspects, for example, assisting a resident with a meal or helping them get washed and dressed. There's always different things that can be done and different ways to be able to help people as well, especially people who may have dyslexia, may struggle with some of the reading and writing. So it's about making sure that we tailor the apprenticeship to the person doing it. So some people might complete it a little bit sooner than others, but it's about doing it thoroughly, properly, and making sure that you get the most out of it.
Great, thank you. I have a question here about pay. So they're asking, what is the pay like working in the care sector?
The pay can vary from home to home, and it also can vary on job role to job role. Is it the best paid job in the world? No, it's not, but it's a fairly paid job. There's opportunities to work overtime if need be, and like I said, there is opportunity for growth. Obviously, with more responsibility comes more pay. But a lot of people that go into the care industry don't initially go into it for the money. It is because it's a job that they can see themselves doing and that they want to offer care to people. They have a passion to want to do that. They want to provide care. They want to be that companion. And really, to be honest with you, the rewards for it personally outweigh the pay because you can get that much from it. And it's not just about pay, but it is about having a fulfilling career, which equals a fulfilling life, where you want to get up in the morning to go to that job because you know that you're making that difference.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I see that. I think it's really, really important to enter in with the mindset of working with people again and being that kind of that point of I guess care, as you mentioned, for everyone you work with. So I think it's really important to not have pay in mind, but have people in mind. So yeah, thank you for answering that. Another question here: what does a day to day look like? I guess maybe for you, we can get directed to you. What does a day to day look like for you?
So for me, obviously, it'd be very different from an entry role. So when I come in the morning, the first thing that I do is I have a walk around the home. I say hello to all my staff, make sure that everyone's in. I have a chat with the residents, make sure that they're okay. I'll grab myself a cup of tea, which normally means I'm making about 20 because I'll have a whole line of residents behind me waiting for one as well. And then I will set the day off, check in whether there's been any accidents, incidents, whether I've got any residents that are poorly, whether we've got any tasks to do with maintenance, meetings, payroll. Generally, I just keep an eye on the day-to-day runnings of the home to make sure that all the departments work together. But a day-to-day for a carer will be very, very different. A carer would come in, they'd get a handover. Then they would assist residents with washing and dressing, those that need it. Then it would be a case of getting breakfast ready, assisting anybody that may not be able to feed themselves anymore. And then the fun bits start. The bits where we get to do activities. My staff absolutely love this because we get to be creative. We have a lot of arts and crafts. We do a lot of things like massage, ball games, Monopoly, cards. Sometimes it might be just gentle exercise, gentle walks around the garden. And then we've got lunchtime. So again, it'll be assisting residents with the meals. It might be spending time with our residents and the families. Afternoon, again, it will be different sorts of activities. Might be watching a film, maybe playing some music. And then throughout the day, we're going to make records of dietary intake, fluid intake, whether we've put any creams on. And then because most of our staff will do 12-hour shifts, We might, after tea time, be assisting residents to bed. Equally, we might have supper club, or we might be in one of the bar areas in the home, and you might have residents playing cards together. And I never knew how to play chess until I worked in a care home, and I was taught that. So it can be very, very varied. And I think one of the best things about care, and what I loved about it, and this is when I was a domestic as well, and not just strictly a care role, is that every day was different. So you'd kind of have a bit of a routine, but you never really knew what was going to happen. And because you're basing your day around what our residents like to do, really, you're like their friends. So you're helping them fulfill their day and what they want to do. And that's one of the great things about all the employees within the home, is that we work together to make those things happen. So, for instance, my deputy manager at this moment has taken out a resident, and they have gone to a stately home, which is about half an hour away from here, for afternoon tea with his brother. And that was one of his wishes on our wish tree. So, and that's my deputy doing that, and she's taken one of our lifestyle colleagues with her. So it doesn't matter what role you have in the home, because you all get stuck in, and you all have that resident contact, which is really, really good. But yeah, every day can be slightly different. But I suppose that's what keeps it exciting.
That does sound very exciting. Like, there's so many different parts of that day as well that you can kind of like get involved with. So yeah, I want to be invited. That sounds fun. That sounds really, really great. A question here about apprenticeships again. So what is the process like applying for an apprenticeship with KUK?
So most of our staff, upon starting, most of our employees, will have an induction period, which is usually 12 weeks. And in this 12 weeks time, we get to know the job role, we get to know the residents, we complete some e-learning training. And then once we've done that and we've signed staff, our employees off on the induction period, then we start looking at the apprenticeships available. So we'll get our employees signed up for that. And once we get our employees signed up, we have lifetime trainers that will then be in touch to get the ball rolling. So it's quite a quick process. But because it can take quite some time to do, that's one of the benefits. Some of our employees may say, I would like to wait a few more weeks until they're a little bit more comfortable, a bit more confident in the role. And that's absolutely fine, because we're going to work alongside our employees. We're not going to force anyone into doing it if they don't want to. We want to keep you engaged, and we want to make the best out of you. We want to get the best out of you. So we'll work alongside you. We'll look at the dates and the timescales, and because it's done by a third-party company, they will come in and spend time with you directly. So it's protected time, so that we know that you're getting the best out of that apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's nice to know that you have the kind of support as you go and as you learn. That's awesome. A question I have for you, actually, as you mentioned that you've been in this sector for 20 years, how have things changed as you've gone along in these 20 years, whether that be in KUK or the care sector itself? How much change have you noticed in that time?
A lot, but for the better. I think when I first came into care, I think I was very naive about what to expect. And when one of my own grandparents came into the home that I manage, my outlook completely changed. And I think that helped me grow as a person. But what I would say is things like legislation has changed a lot. So the expectations are slightly different from what they were. But because I have seen what it was like before, this is only to protect the people in our care, to make sure that they are getting the best. And by protecting our residents, we're also protecting ourselves, and we can hand on heart say we know that we're doing an absolutely fantastic job. And I think that's what's really, really important. And I think we can see that with our new builds. Every new build that we do gets better and better because we learn. And I think that's one of the most important things, is that we learn, we look back and we reflect. And by doing that, we're only ever going to improve. And by improving, we improve the lives of our residents that are in our care. And I think when you come into this job and you know that you want to make a difference, that's the way that you're going to do it.
Thank you. Yeah, I can definitely see that a lot will have changed in 20 years, but also keeping your mindset on the main goal at hand is what kind of anchors you in that time. So, yeah, awesome. And just to add on to that before we move on to the next part of the session today, what opportunities or exciting things are coming up in the care sector or in Care UK? What roles are maybe emerging, or what new things could be potentially on the horizon?
So I think at the moment for us as a company, we have a big emphasis on dementia care. One of the things that I love the most about Care UK, and it is something that I don't see with other operators when I'm out and about, is that we put a lot into training. So because we do that, all of our homes have a dementia care coach. So that's a member of staff, and it's not always a senior member of staff. It could be a care assistant or a team leader who have been put on an accredited course with the University of Worcester to be able to deliver training for best practice for our carers. Because we're heavily focused on approach to care, we have approach to care leads within the company, and their job is to make sure that we are using best practice and making sure that our residents are living fulfilling lives, and that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that they are in the right environment and they're cared for and all of their needs are met. We also have a lot of roles, like I said before, the ones that you don't think about in head office. So that continues to grow as well. The opportunities there continue to grow. And I think that's the thing, as a company gets bigger, there's always more opportunities, there's more emphasis on development within. Um, and yeah, it's exciting. I mean, before I started the regional development course for regional director, there wasn't one. So 2 years ago, that course didn't exist. And I think that just shows how much the need is there, and people saying that they want to progress, and the company are receptive to that because they look at new things to put in place to help the colleagues grow.
That is exciting, and I'm sure people are making notes for roles and opportunities to get involved with for sure. I'm going to hand over to you now for the next part of the session.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as I've said about 50 times, we're really focused on great dementia care. It's an absolute passion of mine, because all my residents have dementia within the home, and we realise that this is only going to continue to grow across the whole world, and it's something that the government recognises. And more and more people are going to need care homes. So we need to make sure that the care that we're offering is of a high quality. So one of the tools that we use within all of our homes is the Kitwood Flower of Need. So just a little bit of background about Kitwood. So Kitwood was an academic and is regarded as a pioneer within the field of dementia care. His work and philosophy was based on being person-centred, and to simply treat the people in our care home as we wish to be treated. Again, something that I said earlier, something that we would want for every single one of our relatives if they were in a care home. So Kitwood identified 5 areas of need, which are comfort, inclusion, identity, attachment, and occupation. And we use this model in our homes so that we can help our residents to adjust to their environment and ensure that their care needs are met. And it's not just about physical needs, it's about mental needs as well. It's needs that we probably don't see at times, and something that we should be receptive to. So now I want to, with you, create our own flower of need. So we need to draw a flower, so a centre with the word love in it, with 5 big petals. So if you could do that. So love, the reason that we have that at the centre of our flower of need is because everyone needs love to be loved. Being loved and accepted is part of our need for survival, and love can take on many different forms. We may love one another, an activity, or personal items, and that will be the same for all of us. But what I want to do now is focus on the 5 petals. So we talk about comfort. What does comfort mean to you? Just have a think for a couple of minutes and just jot down a couple of ideas. And the important thing to remember here is that there's no right or wrong answer. What might provide comfort for one person can be very different for someone else. So for me, comfort is about having Buddy, my miniature schnauzer, on my knee at night and having a cuddle with him. Or it might be about getting wrapped up on the sofa in my duvet. Or it might be putting on my favourite pair of slippers to keep my feet warm. But for other people, it can be about not being in pain. It could be about making sure you've had something to eat or drink. And it can be about a closeness with someone. So it might be that one of your parents or one of your loved ones provide comfort. So we'll move on to identity. So again, just jot down, what is your identity? What makes you, you? So for me, it will probably be my Doc Martens or my Converse. I live in them. Or it might be the fact that I always have a sparkling bottle of water on my windowsill. So then we move on to occupation. Most of us want to be occupied and feeling that we have a purpose in life. It's important that an individual can occupy themselves or be occupied with activities that are meaningful to them. Occupation isn't just about a job, it can be absolutely anything. So for me, it's about reading. I'm an avid reader. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. It lets me switch off what's going on in the world. And to me, I feel occupied when I do that. Just the same as when I go for a walk with my dog. So again, just take a couple of minutes and think about what that means to you. So then we look at inclusion, and this means feeling included and connected to others. So what does this mean to you? To me, it's about being part of a group. It's about being part of a team, part of a family. Again, it could be completely different for you. There isn't a right or wrong answer. It's about what you feel as a person. So what do you think inclusion means to you? if you were to tell someone? And then lastly, we have attachment. Our connections in life are crucial to our feelings of well-being. So when we look at attachment, what's important to us? What makes us feel that we're included, that we feel good within ourselves? When I think about my attachment, I think about my career, I think about my employees, I think about the team that I've built, but I also think about my family and my loved ones and different activities that I do, things that make me feel good being part of. And attachments can be things in the wider community, maybe social clubs or people that you know outside of your small inner circles. So, as I said before, we use Kitwood's Flower of Need in all of our care homes. Every one of our residents in my home has one on their bedroom wall. And this enables our residents to get settled into the home quickly, adjust to new surroundings, and it gives us the opportunity to get to know what truly matters to that person. When we care for people who may not be able to tell us what they need, this gives us an opportunity to be that one step ahead. So it gives us the opportunity to make our residents feel safe, loved, and cared for. Every single one of us is an individual, and we all have a different need. We all find different things that comfort us. We all have different forms of identity. We all have different forms of occupation, and we all have different forms of attachment and inclusion. We all know that there are different things that go on in the world that make us happy or make us sad. And by using this model, we're able to help our residents live a fulfilling lives. By helping residents get settled into the new environment quickly means that they're much more likely to be happier with us, and that they will want to stay with us and that let us be part of their family, which is absolutely fantastic. And these are the kind of things that we do within our home. So for those that you haven't finished it, you could have a look at it later. But I hope it gives you an idea of what kind of things that we look at, the self-awareness, and understands what gives you comfort as well. So thank you for taking part in that.
That was really great. Thank you, Tracy, for leading that. And I'm sure that people have a lot to take away from that exercise. And it's nice that it can be applied to kind of everyday life. So, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and also for your time today, taking the time to speak to us all about KUK itself and the care sector and your journey as well. I really, really appreciate it. It's been great to have you. And I'm sure you've left everyone with a lot to think about and to get involved in today. So, thank you, Tracy.
No, thank you for your time.
Awesome. So coming up, we have an Insight Day in October with Care UK, and we would love to see you there for a more detailed insight into careers in care. So you will not only gain knowledge, but gain hands-on experience through activities, much like we've done today. The deadline for applications is the 8th of October, so apply as soon as you can so you don't miss out. So what I'm going to do is create some time now for you to go onto this QR code, have a look, and I'll be back in a couple minutes just to finish off the session. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. A huge thank you to everyone who has tuned in and been able to listen to this industry spotlight talk today. A feedback form will be shared with you by email, so look out for that and let us know how you found it via our feedback form. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon for another industry spotlight. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye, everyone.